It's that time of day that we like best, but seem to see the least. Those brief, elusive minutes when night gives way to morning, when the sun begins to dry the dew, and the day begins with a chill in the air and the sounds of nature. And on this morning, the sound of farm hands arriving for a day's work adds to the soundtrack. This could be the start of any harvest morning on any farm in Texas, only this crop is a little different from most you'll find here. This orchard is one of the state's newcomers, rooted in thousands of years of history in other parts of the world. Welcome to the Sandy Oaks Olive Orchard.
The reason I brought it to Texas was that I had visited so many other orchards around the world. And each time I would set foot in an orchard, I'd say, oh, that reminds me of Texas. So I really felt that it would, that the olive trees would do very well here.
What kind is?
It's a piquois over there. And then right next to it, of course, is another arbicana. And you can
Sandy Winokur is the unlikely farmer on this once experimental farm. She's one of only a handful of Texas farmers who were brave enough, or maybe naive enough, to attempt to cultivate olives in the Texas soil. But after traveling the world and researching the tiny Mediterranean fruit and its ideal climates, Sandy was determined to make a go of growing olives south of San Antonio.
There were a lot of naysayers, as there usually are, but you know, they didn't have the benefit, I think, of traveling a great deal and seeing how many different conditions the trees grow in. And then I didn't have the benefit of knowing very much about it, so I was willing to take the risk.
Well, the risk has paid off. This time of year, workers are filling buckets by the hundreds with colorful, ripe olives. There's no automated machine for this work, so thousands of olives are picked by hand, one at a time. This isn't so hard. You got this tree here, and how many more trees do you have?
11,000.
11,000?
11,000.
From a startup of 450 trees to an 11,000 tree farm, you could say Sandy has struck oil, olive oil. It takes 80 to 100 pounds of the tiny fruits to make 1 gallon. And like a lot of Texas industry, oil is what it's all about.
Olives are made of water and oil. And so because we're irrigating so much, we up kind of the amount of water that's in the olive. And so you just have to get more olives to get the oil out of them.
If I take one of these rosy or black ones and I bite into it, it's going to be pretty bad, right?
It's really nasty. It's so bad. The first joke people play on someone visiting an orchard is to tell them, oh, sure, take one off the tree and eat it.
And it's
really,
bitter
it's very bitter.
A lot like coffee, these olives on the tree aren't much good to you. It takes time, technology, and expertise to ensure that this crop of Texas olives is extra virgin.
If it's extra virgin, you can first of all taste it.
Extra virgin? What does that mean?
Well, what it means is that you have to actually, to call it extra virgin, you have to send it off, your sample off to a laboratory. And they look at a number of factors, but the most important factor is the acidity level. And if it's 0.08 or less, it's extra virgin. If it's 0.08 up to 3, it's virgin. And if it's 3 and above, it's olive oil. No, not really junk, but olive oil.
But you wouldn't use it, would you?
No, I wouldn't. We are interested in producing only extra virgin olive oil, and so far that's what we've done.
It's midsummer, and for about a week after the harvest, the olives are laid out and dried, then pressed until precious oil is extracted. From the oil, Sandy and her team will produce a bushel of olive oil goodies far beyond food. Her skincare line has a dozen or more olive oil-based creams, soaps, and lotions.
It's been known all over the Mediterranean that the beauty secret of the Mediterranean women is olive oil. It's a wonderful product for the skin.
And amid the roar of the olive press, when the oily juice begins to flow, this is the payoff, the reward for the hard work, the risk, and all the dreams of a woman with a crazy idea about growing olives in the sandy South Texas soil.
This is always one of the happiest times of the year for me. This is my Christmas. Actually, it's humbling in a sense because it's been my dream. And of course, I've worked very hard, but all these people that have helped me make this dream possible, it's just amazing to me. And Sunday, there's usually not anybody here but me, and sometimes I'll just walk and look out and say, this is so beautiful.
Experts say the olive is the most extensively cultivated crop in the world. It's the most mentioned fruit in all of literature, dating back to the Bible. It's the symbol of peace, wisdom, glory, fertility, power, and purity. And until a few maverick farmers like Sandy Winokur, it was nowhere to be found in Texas. Sandy is an innovative farmer who has kick-started a new Lone Star boom crop when most said she could not. She's done it her way, she's done it right, and she's built herself a legacy on her farm here in Elmendorf, Texas.
I think, I wonder what it'll be like 1,000 years from now, you know, when the olives are still there. And how many generations will have worked this? I would love for it to be so that when I'm gone, it will still be here. This has been one of the most exciting chapters of my life. I really love what I'm doing.